What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some First Descendant, and we are actually going to be looking at a pretty easy farm to get the Valby code so you can craft this Descendant. She's got a pretty good kit, a lot of good AoE skills, and she also is part of one of the best gold farms in the game right now, so if that's something you want to try to get into, it's definitely a good idea to have this character. And also, in general, it's nice to just have more characters to play with in this game. Makes it pretty fun. Now, one of the things I do really like about First Descendant is you can come in here and it will tell you where you can go to get these certain items. I've actually already got the Valby code. I got it right before I made this video, and that's why I wanted to kind of talk about this farm a little bit, because I found this to be the easiest way. And we're just waiting on one of the other pieces to finish crafting so we can build her. But you can see here, if you go to Acquisition Info, it will tell you where you can get this. And you can get it by battling Devourer and the Void Intercept. That can be a little difficult, especially if you're early in the game. There's a lot of pickup groups there when you do matchmaking that just are not going to be ready to beat this boss, and you'll just be beating your head against the wall. But the easiest way to do this is to go to the Sterile Lands. You can do the Void Fusion Reactor, and you can get her blueprint to drop there. The code will drop as one of the 4 items that you can get. It's got a much higher drop rate as well if you do it from the Void Fusion Reactor than if you do it at Devourer. So that was one of the main reasons I went to do it there. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Open up our map. We're going to go to the Sterile Land, and you're going to want to come down here to Rockfall. This is the Void Fusion Reactor that you're going to need, and you'll see here it says Amorphous Material Pattern 006. That's the one you need to get. So the cool thing is the Vulgus outpost in this zone actually drops that Amorphous Material Pattern 006. Now, in order to interact with this, you're going to need Monomer Void Shards and Polymer Void Shards. Well, if you don't have those, you can actually get those right here from this Void Fragment, which is all within the same zone. So you can basically just run a loop here, which I'm gonna do here in just a minute. You see here every time you're gonna get 6 monomer shards and 2 polymer shards. This is an electric void fragment, so you can use Bunny here. You should have her fairly early on in the game. I'm gonna be using Sharon because I just unlocked her and I'm just working on leveling her up. The cool thing is if you do have Sharon, you can come over here to the outpost and you can do the successful infiltration. She's the only character in the game that can do it because she has the stealth. And you can get the extra shape stabilizer and an extra chance at getting that material pattern 006. But the cool thing is here, this is one of the few strategic outposts where you don't have to do the successful infiltration in order to get what you need. You can just go in and blow up everything really fast, and if you're already kind of a later level in the game, this is going to go really, really quickly. So one other tidbit though, this is the most important thing, is to set your instance on private. You can change it to private so you're the only person in the zone. That means if you're going to go in here, you don't have to wait. The only thing you're going to have to wait on the reset is going to be if you're doing it yourself. And if you're going for that successful infiltration, it's also going to prevent anybody else from coming in and ruining that when you're trying to do it. So let's just go in here. I'll show you the loop real quick. In typical fashion, running the video, we're probably not going to get the drops to work right away the first time through, just because that's how this usually happens, and it is totally RNG. You do have a 20% chance of getting this item to drop, so you might get it on your first couple of runs, and it might also take you a little bit longer than that. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get into the zone, and we're going to go over to the Vulgus outpost, because it has a 5-minute reset timer on it, so while we're waiting for the timer to reset, we can go around and do the other stuff. So we're just going to run in here. Like I said, we're not going for that infiltration. We're just going to go through here and blow everything up really fast. And I'm not even using like my good weapons or anything in the game. I'm just using kind of random stuff as I work on farming up my mastery ranks. So there you go. Pretty quick. We got that to go. And we see here if we get lucky on the drop. We did not, so we'll have to come back and do it again. There's a 5-minute reset timer. So while we're waiting on that timer, we're going to run over here. And you can see on the right side, you got the little electric icon there. That's where we're heading next. We're going to go do the Void Fragment. And that way we'll have enough Void Shards to go over and interact with the Void Reactor. I'll show you that here in a minute too. It's pretty quick and easy. But we'll go ahead and just do this real quick, and then we'll fast forward to the Void Reactor. So again, you're going to need your electric ability to interact with this. That's why I said if you have Bunny, pretty easy to do with her. And I'm just using Sharon, like I said, so we can kind of get her some levels. Trying to get her leveled up and get some power duration mods so I can start using her to do those successful infiltrations with her cloaking ability. But this is pretty straightforward. These enemies are not too bad. Like I said, if you're over leveled, this is going to go really quick. And if you're using Bunny here, obviously you got your AoE attacks. Got to wipe out most of these guys. We're just working on some proficiency on some of these guns that we don't use very often, trying to build that mastery rank up. So that's why we're kind of doing this mainly with our weapons. You'll go through 3 rounds of this. I think you've got to kill like around 150 enemies, so it's really not too bad. But we'll go ahead and we will fast forward through all of that, and then we will go head over to the Void Reactor. Alright, so now that we're done with the Void fragments there, we got the ones we needed. We're going to want to go over to the Reactor. Now, if you have the amorphous material, you will go and do this next step. If you don't have it yet, you'll just kind of keep running the Void fragment until the Vulgus outpost resets. Stopping to pick up any stuff along the way. And this is a pretty easy fusion reactor here. It's got 2 enemies that come out, and they're both relatively easy even early in the game. So just going to come over here, interact with this console. And it's going to spit out an enemy here. Just kill him pretty quick. And it's going to spawn another enemy up on top here, who's of course going to try to hide from us. So there we go. Kill those 2, and it's done. Now this has a chance to drop some other items too. You can get some pretty nice mods from running these. And then normally you'll go up here, wherever this drops, it's going to spawn this little object here. You're going to interact with it. And in this case, like I said, we don't actually have the material we need to go to get the blueprint, but it would be here once you get that drop from the Vulgus outpost. Like I said, your RNG is going to depend. Like before I made this video, it's kind of funny. I actually did this, and I was just playing the game normally, and I got actually 2 of the amorphous patterns to drop on the first 2 runs I did. And then I was trying to record footage to make the video, and it's like 45 minutes. I didn't get a single one to drop, so I kind of figured I would just run through this live and kind of show you the process of getting that. So it shouldn't take you too long, hopefully. Like I said, RNG can be pretty cruel sometimes in this game. But it's been pretty enjoyable overall so far. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this helpful if you're trying to go for that Valby code. I think this is probably the easy and most efficient way to get it. You're also got to have the chance to get some modules to drop during this, and you'll get some weapons and stuff that you can dismantle to get some more crafting materials. So overall, it's going to provide you with quite a bit of gear and other things that you can use for crafting later on, and hopefully you will get that Valby code as well. As always, guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope you all are having a great day, and I will see you again next time.